This is the intro. Enjoy. Hey guys, D-Man here, doing another Steven Universe kind of question-y, kind of theory video. Mostly questions, but I will throw out some theories here and there. Um, so basically, my last Steven Universe video was my top 11 Steven Universe fusions. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on my channel. um, excuse me. But basically, when I got to Jasper's corrupted fusion, I thought of something. I thought of, what if Jasper took the corruption away from that fusion? She took the corruption away from that corrupted gem, and that corrupted gem ran away at the end. What if that corrupted gem starts turning back into a normal gem? Was my thought, and was my kind of like thinking about it. It brings up a few questions. Let's start off with what would happen if this actually happens, which there's about, I don't know, I kind of doubt it will happen, but then again, Steven Universe has surprised us before, you know? So let's think about what would happen. First off, who would this new uncorrupted gem's allegiance lie to? They probably fought against the crystal gems in the war, but like Centipede, they probably know the diamonds did this to them, so I don't know, they wouldn't have allegiance to the diamonds or the crystal gems, or maybe they would go back to the diamonds. I'm not sure. Would it be kind of like a middleman, or would it be kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of thing? Like, the crystal gems are my friend because they're the enemy of my enemy, you know? It's kind of like that kind of question. Like, what would this do, and who would this be? And would it be the catalyst to bring back Jasper in the first place? Because maybe this corrupted gem that turns back into a normal gem would want the person that saved her to become back to life or something. Just a question. Just a little theory I had, I guess. Like, because it did get away. So in the future, if we ever see a gem come back and be like, well, I was corrupted, but then when Jasper fused with me, I got uncorrupted. It'd be really interesting. Sorry about that. No, but I'd be really interested to think about that. Like, what if that did happen? What if she took the corruption away? Which brings me to my kind of questioning part about corruption and such. So basically, we know what a cracked gem's mind's like. Originally, when they explained it, and Peridot said, like, they're just mindless, looking for their other half, always trying to get it, and just wiping out anybody that gets in their way, trying to, you know, get their other half. When Peridot said that, I immediately thought of, like, oh, zombies, like cracked fused gems, like cracked forceful fused gems are like zombies, and the fact that zombies, they only have movement, and also they only have an urge to eat. Like flesh. I know it's a little bit of a weird comparison, but you know, go along with it for now. So I thought that's what they were like. But then when Steven went into the cluster, he talked to it, and I realized that they had more cognitive functions than I thought they did, and they could actually talk and hold a conversation, which was really interesting to me. And I was like, oh, they do have like more intelligence than I thought they did, because the way they explained it before was like, oh, they only want one thing, that's it. They only have a one-track mind. But then when we learned that they had more intelligence and they kind of bubbled themselves, I thought, well, that's more like Return of the Evil Dead, the Return of the Living Dead zombies. If you haven't watched that movie, I think that's the right movie. If you haven't watched it, it's really good. It's really old, though, so I don't know if you watched it or not. But basically, they capture a zombie on there, and they ask it why it's eating people, and it said, not people, it's eating brains. And they say, why? And it says, because I'm in pain. Being dead hurts them, so eating brains calms them down, which is kind of like what a cracked fusion does. Like they're in pain because they're missing their other half, sort of thing. I sort of equate it to that, but it could be a little bit different. I know it's a little bit of a weird thing to compare it to, but I'm a weird guy, but but that's what I was thinking about, because on that movie, you should watch it, by the way. That's what they say. Like they're in pain to be alive. They can feel themselves rotting. It's really actually an interesting movie. That's what I kind of feel like what gem shards are when they're like forced together and they're forced to make these gem monsters. They're kind of like hurting inside because they're missing themselves. But then that brings us up to, what does a corrupted gem mind look like? At first, I was thinking like maybe it's like Iceman off of Adventure Time, and it's like a maze in there. If you haven't seen that episode, you should watch it. But no, they show like a maze in Iceman's brain. I thought like, maybe that's what inside of a corrupted gem's like, a maze. Maybe a really confusing maze. Maybe even one of those stair mazes. If you haven't seen a picture, I'll put a picture right here. It basically goes every which way, and you can walk any way you want, but it's like really confusing as hell. Is that what a corrupted gem's inside looks like? Like inside their mind? Or maybe inside their mind it's completely blank, and you see the gem in the middle just being confused or something like that. Or maybe it's digital. Who knows, really? I'm assuming eventually we're going to see this. Excuse me. I'm assuming we're eventually going to see this when Steven jumps into a corrupted gem's mind. But will it be digital or something like that? Which begs the question, are the gems intelligence, like robot intelligence, or something similar to that? They obviously were created by the diamonds, but the diamonds must have had a creator too. And what happened to the creator? Are the creators still controlling the diamonds? Or did the diamonds kill the creators? Or did the creators just move on? That's a big question. And also, sorry, little side tangent here, but the gems are made out of light, right? They say this multiple times, we're like amalgamation of light and like basically a physical hologram of themselves. Which begs the question, how can they cry? How do they have fluids if they're made out of light? We know how Steven has fluids because he's a human, but how does light have fluid? I really don't understand that question. I'm sure we're never going to get the answer to it. It's just going to be like, magic. Just kind of something I wanted to ask. How do gems have tears in the first place if they're gems? Doesn't make any sense. They shouldn't have tear ducts, They're made out of light. But anyways, back to the fusion. Back to the corrupted gem, I should say. So I really want to know what's inside of a corrupted gem's mind. It's going to be really interesting to see that in Steven Universe. So what do you think's inside of it? That's my question. And I think we're going to eventually see it when Steven goes into one of their minds. Hopefully it's going to be more like Kiki's Pizza Delivery Service episode, if you saw that one, where he went into her dreams. I'm hoping it's going to be more like that, instead of like going into the shard and only seeing like the shards of gems. I'm hoping it's more like Kiki's Delivery Service, so we actually get to see like a whole scenario of just this corrupted gem's mind. And it's most likely going to be Jasper or Centipedal, although I guess the diamond could come back and corrupt one of our gems, like Pearl or Garnet or Amethyst, or maybe even Lapis or Peridot, They could corrupt one of them. Which brings up two more questions. We'll get to those after, though. So, it's really interesting to think about what is inside of a corrupted gem's mind. And I hope we get to see that in the future. I'm sure we will. Who knows who it will be? It might be Jasper. It might be Centipedal. Or it might be one of our gems if they ever get corrupted. So, let's go on to the corrupted gems thing. Okay, if one of our gems get corrupted, there's only really 2 questions I have to ask. I guess there's multiple questions that you could ask, but I only have 2 that I really want to ask. Basically, my first one is, what would happen to Garnet? Would she stay fused and become a corrupted fusion? Would she unfuse and become a corrupted ruby and sapphire? Or something like that? Or maybe when she unfuses, she'll be uncorrupted. Or maybe when she fuses, she'll be uncorrupted. I'm not sure about the mechanics on that. And also, I think out of all the gems, she'd be the one that's most likely to be able to break the corruption by herself. Like, if she sees Steven or something in trouble when she's corrupted, I think she can push that corruption out of the way and come back and be like, I'm protecting Steven, mother effer. Or at least push it out of the way enough to protect them, even though she's corrupted. I think that'd be pretty cool to see. You know, she gets corrupted, then Steven gets attacked, then she's like, I gotta become uncorrupted, or at least she's gotta protect Steven in corrupted form, which would be really cool to see and really awesome. And then Steven would save her, maybe, I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. Which leads us to the second question. What happens to Steven if he becomes corrupted? Now, Steven's half human, and we know that gems, their gemstone is all that they are. Their gemstone itself is all that they are. There is nothing more than their gemstone. Their bodies are made out of light, basically holograms, as I said. So the gems are all that they are, but Steven has a human brain. I'm assuming he has a human brain, because he doesn't have Rose's memories. And I'm assuming that Rose's gem isn't directly connected to his brain. I'm only assuming that. It could be, I guess. But no, he has a human brain, a human body, and he only has the gem in his belly button. Where his belly button should be, I should say. So that begs the question, what would happen? Would Rose's gem get infected and then, like, start infecting him somehow? Or would it not work on him at all? Or something like that? And also that brings up another question. Is Rose still in that gem? If you haven't seen my very first theory video, I theorized that Rose is going to come back by the end. I still think that's going to happen, by the way. So, I think Rose is still in Steven's gem because he's not connected to his brain and he's not in there. He has his own human brain. So, Rose must still be in there and must still, like, exist in her gem, sort of thing. So, maybe eventually we'll get like a spiritual moment, kind of like from Mindful Education, where Garnet did that brain thing with Stevani. Maybe we'll get one of those and Steven will actually get to meet his mom. Or maybe eventually Steven's gem will get ripped out of him by Yellow Diamond, or maybe by his own hand. Who knows? I think that might happen. I also think that it might be like a mind merge thing eventually, where he gets to go into his own gem and see his mom. It might. All these might happen. All these are questions. My guess is as good as your guys's. So yeah. But no, these are a few questions that I just was thinking about. I just was thinking about. Yeah, just a few questions that I had to ask that have no answers as of yet, and might never have an answer because it might never happen. You know, half the stuff in this question video might never happen. Hopefully the corrupted gem thing where he goes into the mind of a corrupted gem will happen, and we'll get to see what's inside of a corrupted gem's mind. Would be really interesting. Maybe the Garnet thing might happen where she turns corrupted and she saves Steven still, even though she's corrupted. And maybe we'll find out what happens if Steven gets corrupted. I would really like to know what happens. Does the gem just rip out of him and like turn into Rose again, but a corrupted Rose? I really don't know the answer to that. I mean, we already know that Steve. Will the corruption even work with Steven, I should say, because we already know that Steven can, like, resist gem weapons. I mean, like, those yellow sticks that that shattered garnet. I forgot what they're called, sorry. And also the containment fields to keep them inside their cells. Steven could bypass those, so does the corruption even work on Steven? Who really knows? And if it does, could somebody like Greg save Steven, like, through music? Because the corruption's supposedly a song, as they said. So could someone like Greg save Steven through music? Or something like that? Because Greg's like the music master. At least on that one episode. What was it called again? Oh yeah, Received the Message, I think. We saw that Greg was like the music master. So maybe Greg will be able to reverse the frequency of the corruption and uncorrupt all the gems. I don't know. And maybe they'll have an army of gems. I kind of doubt that, but it'd be pretty cool at the end. You know, oh, we have like an army of badass uncorrupted gems now that are super pissed off at you for corrupting them in the first place. Which are really cool. Just a lot of questions, a lot of unanswered questions. Sorry, I don't have the answers for these. Hopefully, eventually in the future, we will get the answers for these. And, yeah, I'm hoping this show will keep it up and keep strong. And keep on giving us those good episodes. But yeah, that's just my question video / kind of theory video. What would you like it, I guess, if you wanted to. Comment on it if you want to. Subscribe to me if you want to, and share the video if you want to, I guess. But until next time, I hope I'm not missing anything that I really wanted to cover. I don't think I am. But yeah, until next time, stay sane, my friends. Peace. Hey guys, D-Man here. Just remind you to like, comment, and share this video. And also, subscribe to my channel by clicking this thing right here. Or going down there and clicking the subscribe button, especially if you're on cell phone or tablet. Remember, stay sane, my friends.